Hi yogis, Megan here for a roughly 45-minute heart opener practice. We're going to get started sitting in a comfortable, easy seat. You don't need any props today, so just you and your mat. Let your eyes float closed. Focus on a couple of inhales. And then bring your hands to heart center. Right, Anjali Mudra. Our goal here is to bring our focus inward. Maybe you set a mantra or an intention for your practice. My favorite one is to repeat, I am love, but I also really like to repeat, I am open. And we'll start with a gentle heart opening series and then move into wheel pose so you have a rough guideline of where we're headed. But right now, we're just breathing. And I want you to press your elbows out to the side, pressing your palms together. So instead of a neutral, hands at heart center, now we're active. And as you're pressing left to right, let there be activity firing up in the upper back. And let your chin be parallel with the floor, maybe a slight tucking. And then exhale, press the elbows together, lifting the palms a little higher, higher, and let your chin lift a little bit too. And then do this back and forth. Coming down with elbows out, pressing your elbows together, tilting your chin upward. Being aware of the back of your shoulder blades, right? So scooping everything down and in and allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Nice work. And then as you're ready, you can just kind of circle out the head. Side to side. We'll come back to this in a moment. Just a quick reset. Tuck your chin to your chest. A couple of deep breaths here. Getting into the back of the neck, upper back. A gentle breath. Couple more breaths here. Reflecting inward. Letting your breath help guide you, right? Deep opening as you're lifting up out of your sit bones, tucking your chin in. Lift your chin up. Take a couple of deep breaths. Let your hands come down. Take some shoulder rolls here, right? We're going to lift the shoulders up and then squeeze them down and back. And we're exaggerating this movement here, so it's almost like a cow pose. So go ahead and press the belly forward, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then come back to center. And then same thing, coming into a seated cow pose. And back to center. Now let's take a seated cat pose. So you want to pull the belly button towards the spine, let the pelvis come forward, tuck your chin to your chest, You can use your hands to press into your knees to really create a stretch here. One more breath. And then we'll come back for a seated cow pose. Lifting the chin gently and then exhale back to seated cat. And back to cow. Rounding for cat. And coming back into cow, pressing your chest forward, tilt the chin up. Cat pose, letting your breath be part of your practice. And coming to your cat. Oh, you were in cat. Sorry, coming to your cow. You know me, I make mistakes. Just roll back through. I think that's part of what this heart opener practice is about, right? Coming to a neutral spine is allowing us to make mistakes. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, drop them back. Inhale up. Exhale back. One more time. Inhale up. Circle, drop back, squeezing everything into the spine. Big inhale, complete exhale. Drop your ear to your shoulder. Right, pick a side, we'll do both. And then roll your chin through the center of your chest, coming to the other side. We can't get into our heart entirely without softening our neck. Roll back to the other side. And coming back, other side. And back to center. Take your arms to a T and give yourself a big hug. Right elbow on top first. Working to pull your elbows in line with your shoulders. And as much as possible, walking your fingertips closer behind you. Right? Don't let the mobility limitations of my body dictate your practice. Other side. Working to stay present here in your hug. Giving yourself the kind of hug that you want to give others. One more breath. Give yourself another little squeeze. And release. Arms to a T. Drop your hands by your side. We'll come on to all fours. Take one cat-cow here, full expression. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Taking some time to pedal out through your feet, pressing opposite heel down. Shake your head yes and no. Pressing your chest towards your thighs. Breathing here. I feel like we use down dog as like a transition pose so often that we forget it is its own pose. Walk your feet to your hands for a forward fold. Take your feet as wide as you like. Tuck your chin to your chest. And take a moment here, right? Rock through the feet forward and backward, side to side. Getting present to where the weight of your body is. Yeah, maybe you totally rock forward and back and press onto your toes. I find myself settling into my heels so often. So I really have to make a concerted effort to go onto the balls of my feet. If you want to grab opposite elbows and take a rag doll and kind of sway, this is your practice. If you're already like super open and ready to roll, maybe you take a gorilla pose. I don't know. Be aware of the orientation of your feet. And then bend into your knees. Keep your chin towards your chest and then re-lift your tailbone. Roll all the way up to standing. I think my head gets cut off on this video. Sorry, guys. You'll be fine. You don't need to see my face. Grab your your left wrist with your right hand and twist, right? So you're pulling to the side. Back to center, grabbing your right wrist, and then leaning to the left. Back to center. One breath here, hands to heart center, forward fold. Last thing to tuck is your chin. Halfway lift. And fold into your forward fold. Roll all the way back up to standing, hands to heart center. Press your palms together overhead, forward fold, back down. Halfway lift again. There's an opportunity here to create an up dog in your back. Forward fold. Roll all the way up. Hands come through heart center. Same thing as before. I want you to grab your wrist and lean to one side. We're going to do both sides, right? So just pick a side and go. I take a small knee bend between each side. I don't know. It helps me feel like I'm resetting. I don't know if that's true. Taking your arms wide, forward fold. Halfway lift, and then take airplane arms. Sorry for all of my clothing malfunctions, but I'm not a professional yet. Hands to heart center, roll all the way back up to Dandasana, palms overhead. Hands back down to heart center. All you have to do here is breathe. Inhale, extend up. Lean to one side. Come back to center. Lean to the other side. Really getting into the side body here. Forward fold, back down. Halfway lift, airplane arms again. Forward fold. Plant your hands, step your feet back, high push-up. Hanging out here. Yeah, this is it. If you need to drop to your knees, then that's what you do. Press forward, slowly lower down. Belly all the way to the ground. Tap your forehead down. Bring your hands a little bit further by your rib cage. Lift just your torso up. Squeezing your shoulder blades down and together, neck long. Press the pinky toes down so there's a widening of the pelvis. We're still lifting. Now drop your forehead down. Tuck your toes, pressing up into your push-up. Curl the back, so like a cat pose in your push-up. So essentially you're like spreading the scapula apart behind you. And then dip back down, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And downward facing dog. Right, so our heart openers don't have to be big, massive heart openers to actually get some opening in the chest. So even that high push-up, squeezing everything together is a good opportunity. Pedal out a bit in your down dog. Tailbone high. Inhale. Lift your right leg up. So you want to keep your hips square here, so only go as high as you can, keeping your hips level. And bend your knee, stack your hips, opening up. Maybe you look under one armpit and then the other. See what you see. Straighten your knee, re-square into your three-legged dog. Step through, low lunge. So you can keep your left toes tucked or not, that's your choice. Working on straightening the spine in your low lunge here. So deep opening in the front left hip flexor, but then also for some of us across our shoulders. If you can, bring your hands up to your knees. And then take your arms up overhead to come to heart center. Right, these kind of shoulder circles keep opening things up for us. So coming into your center line, right? Squeezing your thighs towards one another, towards the center line, even though they're far apart. Lifting your heart up, begin to lean back. Really working to keep the neck in line with the rest of the back. So your chin will be tilted up, but maybe not crunched up. And then coming to cactus arms or goalpost arms. Yoga with Adrienne always says goalpost arms because she's in Texas, and I'm in Texas, but I also know what a cactus is. Anyways, press your elbows together and then open back up goalpost. Maybe that's because I'm from El Paso, right? Do that a few more times. So you're opening and closing a book essentially with your elbows. Keep activity in your hands and then lean back over your right front leg and take, I was going to say extended side angle, but just a side twist here. So left hand down, right hand up. And then we'll come back onto your left knee, straighten your right leg for a hamstring stretch or half splits. Typically I have blocks under my hands here, so you can see that I've kind of forgotten to tuck my chin and settle into the pose. But I'm only human. High push-up. Pause here. Slowly lower down, elbows close. Bring your hands a little bit further down, lift your chest up, another cobra. And drop your forehead back down. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. This is it. This is the pose. We're just in down dog. Couple more breaths. And then we'll lift the left leg up. So just like the other side, level hips, flex your foot, bend your knee, stack your hip, Same thing as before, look under each armpit, see what you can see. Notice the shift in weight in your body as you twist your head. Right, not judging the shift, but just being aware that it exists. Coming back to your three-legged dog, stepping through, low lunge. Same thing as the other side, you're going to drop your right knee, and as you're ready, you're going to bring your hands up onto your left knee. Couple of breaths here. Be okay with the wiggle, right? Bring your hands to heart center. Squeeze your lower belly up and in to help lift your ribs away from your hips and start to lean back, opening the front of the body. So working on your inner thighs, still pressing into your midline as you take your arms to a goalpost. And press your elbows together like you're closing a book. And open back out. Same thing again, pressing your elbows closed. Opening back up. Close. And open. Taking any opening you need here. And bringing your hands back for a side twist. So your right hand will come down, your left hand up. Reframing back into your high push-up. Hanging out here. Lowering down. Tap your forehead down, untuck your toes. Cobra pose again. Elbows pulling together behind the body. Lift the chest. Drop your forehead back down. Lifting back up. Oh goodness, I just realized I forgot to do the half splits on the left side forward. So bring your left leg in front. So sorry, flex your foot. Fold over your left hamstring. My bad. That human moment. I'm gonna have many, I promise. And now we'll just go ahead and step back into down dog. Maybe a little out of order, but we still got it. And shake your head no. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, bring it through for another low lunge. So you're going to drop your left knee back to the ground. Lifting your arms up. So it's like crescent lunge, only your left knee's on the ground. Coming to cactus arms. Come to airplane arms. So you're opening up, squeezing everything in the spine. And then maybe you clasp your hands behind your back and keep opening your chest up. If this is really tight like it is on me, you can stay in your airplane arms. Keep opening up and then release. Lifting off your back knee. Reach up and over. So you're reaching behind you now. Go ahead and drop your back knee. Grab your foot if you can. Come to the outside edge of your right foot. So this is both for your hips and your left quad and your chest and heart. And then release your foot really gently and slowly. Cartwheel your arm back over to the front. So now you're back in your runner's lunge. One more time, we're going to extend your front leg for that half splits. And coming to downward facing dog. Keep your breath flowing, right? I'm not cueing Ujjayi, but if that's what you feel called to do, do that. If you just want a deep breath, right? Breathing out through your mouth, in through your nose. However you want to do this practice, that's for you. Left leg up. Stepping through. Low lunge. Moving slowly with ease. Drop your right knee. Coming up on to your right knee, both arms overhead. Small back bend here. Cactus arms. Airplane arms. And then clasp your hands behind your back again if you did so on the other side. So you're still focusing on your hips and your thighs while you're squeezing your shoulder blades together and letting there be an opening across your chest. One more breath. Really squeezing everything in. And release your arms. Bringing your hands to either side of your foot. Lifting up on your back knee. Taking a quick side twist here. Right arm down, left arm up. Drop your right knee back to the ground. Take your left hand, reach for your right foot. Maybe you drop to the blade edge of your left front foot. Twisting, opening your heart here. Same thing as the other side, right? You're still going to get a quad stretch on the right. Maybe even a hip opener with the left foot twisting to the side, and then also your heart opening. Cartwheel your arms back over. Straighten your left leg, half splits. Coming back to downward facing dog. Just being really gentle with yourself, right? That's part of what a heart opening practice is about. Coming from a place of self-love. Roll through, high push-up. Hanging out here if you can. Always welcome to drop to your knees or break on your knees and come back up. Curl through your upper back. So you're pulling your shoulder blades apart. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together. And curl up. And squeeze back down together. Curl up. Drop onto your knees. Child's pose. Big toes touched, knees wide, forehead to the mat. Your only task is to breathe. This is a great pose to come back to our heart. Coming back up, go ahead and swing both legs out in front for Dandasana, which is just a seated pose, legs out straight, small bend in the knees, spine as stacked as possible. Flex your feet. So when you flex, your toes are coming towards your shins, towards your knees. Bring your arms out in front. Slowly roll down. Activate your core. Activate. You got it. Whoosh. That always happens to me. Oh well. Knees bent. Arms by your side. Take a moment here. Fix your shirt, fix your hair. We're going to come into some bridge poses. You definitely want your neck comfortable. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting your hips. Spine follows, chest comes towards chin. And release in that opposite order. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side. We're going to come in one more time. Lift your hips up. Clasp your hands under your back if this is in your practice. You're going to walk your shoulder blades underneath you. If you have nice open chest and biceps, your hands are reaching for the ground while they're clasped underneath you. If you're a little bit more limited like I am, just holding your hands under your back is like, woo, it's amazing. And working here on lifting through the hamstrings and not the glutes. Release your bind and come on down. Windshield wiper the knees again. Sometimes these poses can have the back spasm, right? So we just want to give it a moment. No need to upset the body. That is not the point of yoga. Really upsetting anyone is not really the point of life, right? Okay, Supine Baddha Konasana. So laying down butterfly, arms by your side. Of course, healthy boundaries that upset people are not your problem. I feel like I always have to offer a caveat. Anyways, bring your hands to your thighs where your hip joint is and see if you can kind of rock back and forth, pushing your legs away from your hip bone. When you've done that a couple of times and you feel good, just bring your hands to your belly. Closing your knees like a book. Bring your hands by your ears, knees bent, feet on the ground, wheel pose. You can stay in bridge if that's where you'd like to be. Yeah, and so if you look at my form, you'll see that my shoulders are quite far away from my wrists. And that's just something I'm working on, right? Is having enough opening to have my shoulders stack over my wrists. Gently release, come down. Supine Baddha Konasana. Right, sometimes we power through these wheel poses, right? I'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many can we do? And sometimes like today, it's not about that. It's about letting the spine reset before we go in again. Knees bent, feet on the ground. Take your arms to like a goalpost. Pick up your knees, drop them to one side. So it's a supine twist, but I wanted you to bring your knees up first and then drop to the side. Long-term goal here is both shoulders stay flat on the mat as you twist. Come back to center and drop to the other side. And you'll notice my shoulders kind of lift up. Again, that's just my work. Got some mighty tight lats. Come back to center, other side. And other side again. Come back to center, feet on the ground, wheel pose. Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you? Normally supine twist signifies the end of our practice. But I think our body can get in a rut sometimes. It kind of has an expectation, and we need to vary it up. We're still up if you can be. Now lower down. Supine Baddha Konasana. Again, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Moment of gratitude here for all of the miraculous things our spine does all day, every day. Bring your right ankle to your left knee. Bend your knees first if they're not. And then you'll just rotate to the side. So keeping a figure 4, you're just taking a supine twist with figure 4 legs. Keep your breath. What we need here is a focus on exhaling, letting go. Come back to center. Both knees bent, right ankle, left knee. Pull your left knee in, twist to the side. Supine twist with a bound 4 angle. If you'd like to look over your right shoulder, you can. But it's really about whatever your neck and upper back wants. Not straining or forcing. Coming back to center. Go ahead and straighten out. Take a good morning stretch. And then just roll onto your belly. No cute way to do it. We're just flipping over. Arms to a goalpost again. Pick your left leg up. Drop it behind you. So you're getting a stretch across the right chest. So your right arm is still in that goalpost. And then all you've done is pick up your left leg and then stack your left hip on your right. And then if you can, you just drop your cheek, your head back to the mat. And then use your left hand as like a kickstand to either help press or just help support. This is called Fallen Angel. All right, so part of our heart opening is our chest. Unroll back to center. Left arm goalpost, right leg up and over. And using now your right hand to help push that twist deeper. And you'll notice like one side is tighter than the other. You might hold your phone more with one side, or if you're right-handed, your right side might be tighter, and vice versa if you're lefty. And it's all just coming from a place of inquiry, right? Like noticing what the differences are and then just letting them be. Coming back to your belly. Let your arms come by your side for a breath. We're going to take one more heart opener here. Lifting your legs, lifting your chest, arms are behind you like airplane pose. You want to imagine your pinky toes are reaching for the ground, so that way you have some broadening in the hips. Come back down, windshield wiper the knees side to side. Nice work. Now all you have to do is flip onto your back for Savasana. Same thing as before, no special way to get there, just flip on over. Doing your best to settle in. And take a moment of acknowledgement for your physical heart. For all of the blood it pumps through your body every day. And then take a moment of acknowledgement for your spiritual heart. For how that spiritual heart receives messages from God or the universe. And then taking a moment to acknowledge your emotional heart. And all the ways that it helps you create a life of compassion and joy. And if you picked a mantra or an intention for this practice, I invite you to absorb every last bit of that here and now. Bring awareness back into your body. Rub your palms together furiously, right? Creating friction, creating warmth. Keep rubbing. And then cross your hands across your chest. And letting the warmth from that friction absorb into your body. As you're ready, making your way to a fetal position on either side. Make your way up to seated. If you can, keep your eyes closed. Who cares if you're centered on your mat? And just be for a moment. Bring your hands to heart center. It is my honor to love you. May you love yourself as well. Together we say, Namaste. Thanks, guys. Hope to yoga with you soon.